Welcome back again, guys. So on this episode is going to be the moment we've all been waiting for. Will this thing drive on its own power? So I'm just going to cut to it. There's the old clutch cable. Here's the new one. It's a little bit on the shorter side, but this thing had a ton of slack when it was under there. This one called for, I think, a 1296 millimeter cable. So that's what this one is. This, I don't know what it started life out as, or it's even factory. I know that's not factory, nor is that. But I don't know. I'm really hoping this will work, because this is really, once I can get this thing up and rolling, I'll really know what I'm dealing with, and then go into this thing a little bit more in depth than I have. So I'm just gonna cut to it and go into the truck and start attaching stuff. Hopefully this works. I'm really hoping, because I really want to drive this thing. Been looking forward to it since I started. Turned out to be more of a project than I anticipated, but I'm not complaining, because it's been a lot of fun. It's nice working on something that's just this oddball, at least for me. So okay, we'll get to it and we'll see what we got. So I'm going to cut this off. It's the part number it called for, and that's one I happen to find. It's new old stock. I'm going to guess this is way early on, because I had never seen one, put together with rope. The tag put on with rope. Let's see if I can get it undone. I bet I can. It's loose. Oh, there we go. I think I was in Boy Scouts or something at one time. Oh, there's the phone. Got an idea, I know who it is, and if they watch the video, they know who they are. So there we go. Fish it through this hole here. And I'm crossing my fingers. I'm hoping this works. I want to drive this thing so bad you don't even know. I like the little grommet thing. That's a nice touch. So I've never put one of these on, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I know this is an adjustment. Kind of like that Mirage that's in one of the other videos I did a clutch on. Okay. Well. So I know it goes in through there. You know what? I'll figure it out when I get it up in there. It's another thing I wonder about the mileage on this. Awfully sloppy for 17 or whatever. There's no telling on these old vehicles that have the mechanical speedometer. It could have been rolled back, all sorts of things. Try and get this in there without breaking it and film. There we go. So, I don't know if you can see. I think there's a pin in there. I get to. If I had to do this off camera, you see my fingers. So yeah, let me set you guys down and figure this out, and then we'll come back. So I figured it out. This piece sits up on top of the pedal assembly. And then this little deal is where the eyelet slides through on the cable. And it just all pops in there. And when you pull up, I guess it distributes everything, the force evenly across the pedal or something. I'm not sure why they did it this way, but pretty ingenious, I guess. Once you figure it out, it's not so bad. The next question is, am I going to figure out how to go back together with it? Doesn't look hard. We'll see. Can't get you in there, but I'll show you the finished product. I don't know if you can see it, but I got it in. Wasn't easy, but it wasn't terrible. I can see why someone would hate this job, is if you had to get to work on Monday and it's Saturday and it's like 5 degrees or raining or something, yeah, then this job would suck. But that wasn't too terrible. Something of interest I thought you guys might like. So that's your fuse panel. And this is how we used to do things in the old days. So you have a circuit, which I bet that has something to do with all of that. Someone's looking at me. But yeah, if it keeps blowing fuses for something like that, you'd wrap it in a gum wrapper or a paper clip, either or. I remember riding around in old junkers as a kid, and that's how I'd keep this stuff going. But like I mentioned earlier about keeping the battery unplugged, that right there is the reason why, because you never know what's going to short out, especially with wire this old, which this looks pretty good. But you just never know, and I don't want to burn my truck to the ground. Got another little monster here to help. You here to help, TJ? He's deaf, he won't hear me. So yeah, I'm real excited. I'm getting underneath the truck, hook it up to the clutch, and then see what I need to do to adjust it. Well, good news. Looks like it's gonna fit. That just made my day, my year. Slide this thing on through. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe not. So yeah, I'm trying to do this one-handed. Oh yeah, it's gonna work. It's flush against that. I don't like, oh no, it doesn't hit the exhaust. Oh, okay, nice. Go ahead and plop this in here. Let's see what I'm dealing with. I might have to set you guys down for a second so I can deal with that. All right, we're in. So yes, I know there's supposed to be a boot. It's right here. But as easy as that is to put on and off, I'm gonna leave the boot to the side for now. I just wanna make sure everything's good there. Another interesting thing I found is, can I zoom you guys out some? No. That's the shifter. Shifter's on the side. So, I don't know, I just thought that was neat. I'd never seen that before. I thought, you know, the shifter came in right off the top of the transmission like everything else. A normal truck, I guess you could say. But no, it's on the side. Not a bad thing, but I thought that was pretty neat. These floors, man, they're solid. It's got a little surface rust, but nothing major. This honestly is more solid than most vehicles I've seen that have sat this long. But then again, it was in the desert, so I call it the desert. It was eastern New Mexico. Might as well be the desert. So man, I'm happy. We're almost there. I'll go back up, mess with the adjustment, and if I can get that clutch to disengage, I'll layer up these tires and we'll take it for a quick spin. Nothing, I'm not gonna go anywhere major. I'll just make a lap or two and then we'll get it up front and really clean this thing up. So if you guys were calling me names about how dumb I am about the clutch adjustment, it's probably justified. It's pretty easy. This part that's got that lip goes up in there, and then this is the lock washer. I was thinking it's sandwiched between that, and that's how you did the adjustment. But nope, that's all there is to it. I don't know if I'm about to go under there and mess with this some more, or what we're gonna have to do. Hoping not. But you know, I don't know. Like, I didn't like how this clutch felt. It doesn't, Oh, I guess it does return. Go under there, mess with it, try to free it up. I bet that collar's probably just all gooey, the input shaft collar. The clutch, the throwout bearing rides. But I'll shoot some oil in there, not get it on the clutch disc, and see if I can get her freed up. All right, I got some clutch in action finally. You guys are gonna laugh at me, the ones that have done this. Didn't have enough adjustment taken out. So I think. So, I'm gonna vacate the cats, or maybe they can come with me. We're gonna see if this thing will roll. If I can get anything out of that clutch, we'll throw some air in those tires and we're gonna go for a little ride. Fingers crossed. All right. Like I said, he's deaf. He's okay. Oh, we do. Look at that. Oh, sweet. Oh, I'm so excited. All right. I'm gonna go grab some air. We're gonna go on a maiden voyage. This should be exciting. You didn't find it exciting. All right, guys, stay tuned. Hard to see with the sun, but let's see if it'll go on its first trip. Move everything out of the way. I'll be a man, I don't need to sit on that. All right. Neutral. Pumps on. Fires right up. Reverse. I don't even know if the brakes are locked up or anything. I thought it was reverse. Goes forward. Goes forward again. Where's reverse in this? Does it have reverse? It may not. That's fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe it doesn't have reverse. We got first gear, we got handbrake. Well, ain't that something? We don't have a reverse gear. Second, fourth. Oh, and that's something funny. Unless I'm missing something. Oh, smart, you pull up on it. There we go. I don't think there's anything behind me. Oh, and this is cool. Very first drive. Well, I like this little truck. Yeah, in case you guys are wondering, it's the same little Transit we've been working on. First drive in who knows how many decades. Make a quick lap. We have second. And it powers through second. That's a badass little truck. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I think I'm losing wind in one of my tires. I'll do another lap. Grab first. Okay, I'll go one more and then I'll go put air in this tire and I'll get some outside shots of it driving. Pretty sweet little truck. Like I said, I think last registration was 91 and I think that was the last time this thing was really driven. Pull over here by the air compressor and refill it. And I'll go get you guys some outside shots. So I figured I'd give you guys a cold start on the Transit. Right now it's, the ground's 82 degrees, but it was about 37 overnight. So, should be fairly cold still, I think. Let's see what it does. See what it does with no ether. Really no nothing. Haven't touched it in about 2 days. Still got fluid in it. So yeah, how cold is this engine block? 66. 65. Not terribly cold, but every time I've started it's been like 90 degrees in the afternoon. So my tripod and stuff's in here. I'm gonna set you guys up. You can watch the stacks. All right, here we go. I'm not gonna edit this either. This will be raw just to show you how good or bad it'll start all by itself without ether. Give you a shot of the stacks. Out of the sun. There we go. All right, guys. So we'll see what it does if it starts. What is it? Watch out. So that's a big no. It's not going to start at 65 degrees, even with a fresh battery. Well, that's all right. I need to figure out how to get that cold start system to work anyway. We'll put that on the list because I don't like shooting it with ether. So, all right, continue on with the video. I just want to see if it would start. So I started cleaning this thing out. Didn't find anything real interesting. Not sure if that's part of this. I mean, this is part of the truck. But other than some bunch of trash, that's all I found in here. The floor is a lot more messed up than I thought it was. But being this age, you know, that's okay. Kind of expected it to be. So I'm gonna try kind of use some chemicals to clean up this cab. At least make it a little bit nicer. It'll still be decayed, but you know, if it's clean, it'll be a little bit more enjoyable to ride around in. Because just riding it around here in the backyard, the few laps I did, it's pretty dusty in here. I'm gonna try to get these doors, these windows where they'll go down better. Luckily the door cards and stuff removed themselves, so I think I can get some oil or something back in there, make them slide up and down. So kind of be a lengthy, boring process. So I'll just kind of film updates when I get to certain places where it looks good. And we'll see how this turns out. So here's halfway through it. I detailed it and stopped pretty well in the middle. I'm gonna say this thing does clean up pretty good. The angle of the sun doesn't really do it justice. So yeah, I put some detang spray on this and that came around, but this is just, well, like I said earlier, it's too sun rotted. It just comes right apart. The glass is really good. The paint cleaned up. The rubber came out a lot better than I thought, but it's still gonna be replaced. This is comforting. Still has paint on the floor, and this floor is still, it's really solid. I can't find any spot in it that's not. I think this turned out pretty good. It's supposed to have wood grain. I did see you guys telling me that. But I like this look, and I might leave it like that. Yeah, I even got this. If it hadn't sun destroyed, you know, it would look pretty. It would have come out pretty good. But again, like you see, it's just gone. Sitting out in the New Mexico sun. I mean, there's nothing you can do with the temperature extremes. Well, we have them too. I think they get a little bit colder for longer. But yeah, I'll get you an angle from the other side and you can see the difference. So in case anyone's curious what I'm cleaning it with, this is pretty well spray away with a Glass Doctor label. I don't mind giving them a plug. They've treated me very, very well over the years. They're just a franchise glass company. And then I'm using vinyl leather rubber clean conditioner deal. Nothing fancy. And all I'm doing, I'm just spraying it on. And then hitting it with the paper towel. You can see it's pretty nasty. I am taking off the dirt and some of the actual whatever this is with me. I thought this was interesting. It's only held on with 2 screws from what I can tell. And I don't know. We'll see how far I get today cleaning, but I'm really thinking about taking this off and seeing why my temp gauge and gas gauge don't work. Because from what I can tell is the wiring's all the way up to it, but they just don't work. The vacuum gauge works, but that's its own deal. That's a mechanical gauge. But yeah, it cleans up pretty well. I know some people are gonna say I'm scratching it, and maybe so, but it'll be all right. Let's see if I can get some cleaning action here. Yeah, like this stuff, I don't care if I scratch. And I mean, yeah, I'm probably wasting my time going this in depth on this interior because it's gonna get ripped out, redone. But you know, in the meantime, I want to at least make it a little bit presentable. See, and that's really all there is to it. It doesn't get perfect, not at all. But compared to what we started with, it's a whole lot better. And yeah, this headliner, I thought it was in better shape, and it's not. Same with the weather stripping. That's where a lot of our dust and stuff's coming in, and water. I know, not the right way to fix it, but I'll put some RTV there and then back here where it's leaking still, just to keep the dust out, because I know we could still get the window seal gasket, but I'm not gonna do that yet. But for now, you know, RTV is not the end of the world. It'll actually help save this thing. So yeah, you can see that's clean side. This is a dirty side. The camera doesn't do it any justice how bad this stuff is. And you got the paw prints. Them things are wild. But yeah, I mean, that's all I've been doing is just one little piece at a time, clean it up. I forgot about vacuuming the dash up here, so I'll have to go pull it back up there and do that, because I'm too lazy to walk the vacuum cleaner back here. I don't know, I've seen a couple places that redo these dashes. We'll see. I do want to have this thing, you know, I want to have it nice. It's not going to be showroom quality or totally 100% original, but I just want a nice toy I can get in and, you know, drive sometimes. So, all right, enough of my talking. I'll get it cleaned up and then show you an after. So, finished product. It's not perfect. This side's the worst. This stuff's baked into the paint, and I'm not going to be able to get all that out. I need to clean the windows a little bit better. Yeah, you can see, I think the door's closed all the way. Maybe it doesn't have leaks, but the 2 leaks I showed you a little bit ago, we'll get those taken care of. I'm trying to get you guys, the way the sun is pretty bad right now. But yeah, I didn't do a full-blown detail job, so if that's what you came here for, you came to the wrong place. But I'd say it cleaned up pretty good. It's a shame this stuff's so weather cracked, but I know a place in Amarillo that can fix that up pretty good. This thing is way cramped as far back as the seat goes, and the camera doesn't do it justice. Little truck for little guy, I guess, I don't know. But I'm happy with how it came out. You know, like I said, I just want to get this thing up and running, and then we'll really go in depth on it. Crazy cat. But I'm just amazed. There's not a single chip or anything in any of these windows. And they're all forward from the factory, even the windshield. Maybe you can see that. The steering wheel's a little bit, you know, I guess that's normal for a thing this age. And this, and we'll go for a quick drive in it, but that's not 17,000 or whatever. That used to not be so faded. I don't know if you can, I don't know if we can make it out. Maybe you guys can on the screen. But whatever it is, I don't think it's what they said it was. I think it's way more. But the transmission's tight, so who knows? Maybe that's just how the nature of the beast. I didn't clean this. I didn't want to mess with it. Just no one looks at it. We'll have to untexanize this, but that's okay. Just little things. Need to get a light. I mean, it's not going to be like a, I don't know what we call it, concourse restoration. But I want it decent, a good little driver, a good representation of, you know, what this thing is. Not that anybody over here in the States really cares. Especially here where I'm at. This is like a Chinese truck to them, unless they're a real car person. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I think I might focus on brakes. And we'll see if we can get that working. So the other night we were talking 7.3s. And it got me to thinking about something on the Transit. So this is like our version of what that Transit is, this whole truck. But, so this thing has an intake heater like the Transit, run off these relays. And unlike the Transit, this thing actually uses glow plugs. But, so when these go bad, usually you gotta move the little boot over and arc it across with a big screwdriver to get it to go, because your relays go bad, and that's something that happens a lot. So what I'm thinking is I need to go find the relay to what powers the intake heater on that Transit, arc it over and see what happens, because I don't know where the switch is or any of that inside the truck are. And us talking about this and, you know, using ether and how to get these things going when they're cold gave me the idea. And also, like we were talking, totally unrelated to the Transit, but it's related to what we were talking to the other night. This dinky little thing usually doesn't hold up after one or two removals. All it is a hose clamp trying to hold back 20 pounds of boost. They'll get loose and then the O-ring will get all out of shape and leak. So yeah, that's what I was talking about. But back on the subject of the Transit, I'm gonna go over there and find out where the relay is that controls the starting aids, jump it across and see what that thing does. Cause I'm curious if it works or, you know, any of that. It was just something I thought about when we were talking about this, and I'm gonna go try it. So like I said in the other video, we've got the air intake heater, and then we got this other one that's a fuel fired heater for the intake. It shoots a flame, or it doesn't shoot a flame, it makes a flame. And you know, it's what the other truck has. So I traced the wires sort of back and came up with this relay is what controls the intake. So what I'm gonna do is just like how we do on those Fords. We're just gonna arc it across. I don't know if you heard it spark. Let's see what we get. We're getting smoke, so it's doing something. I don't know if this deal works. It's supposed to flame up. I don't know if it's getting power. I smell something burning. I don't see wires burning. I see smoke out of here, so I'm gonna assume it's that. I'll give it about 45 seconds and then see what this thing does. Haven't started it, haven't done anything to it since, I don't know, 2 days ago? It's been sitting 2 or 3 days anyway. I hear stuff, I hear noises. Like metal expanding. I guess I don't know if this deal works. Let's say that's hot enough, we'll try it. See what it does. Hear the fuel pump. Probably need to hit the fuel. I might hook the truck up. I think I'll do that so we got 14 volts instead of 12. And then we'll give it another go. So here's the preheater, the flame deal. Took it out, cleaned it. There's nothing clogging it that I could tell. I don't know if it works. I'm gonna check to see if we're getting power to it from the relay. And it's getting fuel, I did see that. I'm just curious as to why it's not flaming up. And they're relatively cheap. They're like $30, so I can always just replace it. But I want to see if I can get this one going first. But yeah, this is what it looks like. It's just like we'd see in a tractor or anything else. They're just an off-the-shelf part. So just as a quick test, I took the wire that was up here and plugged it into this. Just to see real quick, because I can do that faster than it takes me to go walk up front and grab one, or walk into the barn and look for one. I got stuff priming, I got the pump going. So we're gonna see if we get anything out of here. It was flowing out fuel, red fuel. I don't remember putting red fuel in here, so I don't know if that was residual or what that was from. I don't know how this thing feeds fuel. I don't know if it feeds it off the, well, I know it feeds it off the return, but I haven't quite figured out the fueling circuit on this one yet. So I'm gonna mess with it. If I can get it to flame up, we'll show you. So I think we got it. I don't know if you can see it glowing up. There it goes. And that's all there is to those. I was gonna hit the starter, but it's not getting too out of hand now. It's flaring out. So yeah, in case anyone's wondering, that's how that works. This truck's been running for a while, so tomorrow, when it's nice and cool out, we'll come out here and see if it'll start. But yeah, that's how that works. Pretty sweet little deal. Seeing how the air cleaner lid isn't scorched or anything, I don't think that's ever really been used. Could be wrong though. But yeah, this thing's been running for quite a while. I was trying to figure it out. And I still don't understand. So these are our returns. We still have fuel coming to them, like gushing out. But then I don't know where the fuel goes because everything on this fuel filter housing is unplugged, but nothing comes out of here where it's supposed to go back. And it's even unhooked right here. So I don't know. I'll do some more digging around and see. I think I'll spray this thing down with degreaser and we'll go give this thing its first wash in who knows how many decades. Clean up some tools, go wash it, but yeah, I want to see if that would work. I think we can get all this working the right way, you know, with the switch and everything. I think this thing will fire right off without ether, which it did. It finally did fire off after I played with these other two. But we'll do a cold start tomorrow or in the next video, we'll see. So I finally got around to it. Been meaning to. You've seen the box kicking around in the truck. So this air filter that came out of it, it's really dry rotted, really hard. Purelator, so I know they replaced it here. And this is the filter it actually calls for. You can tell there's a height difference. And a circumference difference. And this one fits better. So yeah, I never showed it because I never actually got to it. But yeah, that's the air cleaner it's supposed to have. And I did see this engine has some blow by, which I'll try to show you guys. But I contribute that to, you know, this air filter being wrong. You can see where it's been crushed down. They had the wrong bolts in the housing. But I guess that's one of them deals of what are you going to do when you don't have the internet and you need an air filter for like the only truck in the country. But yeah, I figured I'd show you that. Everything should fit together right, because I never liked how this fit in there. It's all bulged out. Yeah, not good. But it should run now. Little as I'm going to run it, doesn't matter if it's got some blow by. But I'll show you guys. So I'm going to go attempting washing this thing. The pressure washer stayed out when it was freezing, so if it's good, we'll be washing this. Got the intake covered up. I got it all hosed down with degreaser. Top and some of the bottom. So we'll see how this thing cleans up, because I don't think, well, I know it's never been washed as long as we've had it. I really want to see how it'll clean up. So we'll see how this works out. I'm going to attempt to wash it and film it at the same time. No promises that either one's going to go good. So I'm going to soap it down first. And this stuff works really good. It's an industrial soap. Just let it soak in. And I'm not super worried about the bed. There's really not much to it to wash. A lot of dirt in there. I'll go ahead and get the engine. Get all that dirt out of there. Try to avoid the intake. Alright, So that's it for the soap. We'll hit it with the high pressure now. Like I said, I'm not good at trying to wash and hold the camera. So I don't know how well this is going to come out. Yeah, I remember about it leaking water in there after I started. But it's rained a bunch of times too in there, so one last time's not gonna hurt. And we're out of gas. Alright, going again. I said it looks pretty clean. Can't forget the stacks. Or the back window. I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of spots, but it's hard to do with one hand. Oh yeah, I need to put those screws back in. I'll switch hands. Yeah, this side's the dirtiest side, so we got a lot of north wind. This side's the side that gets hit first. Cleaning up pretty good. Hate to see what the inside of the truck looks like now. I want to avoid the fuel tank some. Ah, screw it. I got another plan for the fuel tank anyway. That's all I got, hose-wise. Alright, so for the engine, I'm not gonna do two hands on that. So I'll show you the after once we're done. So here's the end result. Really didn't get much cleaner. Still looks the same, chalky and faded, but what do you expect? I mean, it's sat and sat, so I'm not expecting miracles. But it did clean up pretty good. I'm happy with it. Got it running smoother. Something I didn't show you guys that I did was I had to put a check valve in the fuel line to keep the thing from losing prime. Not exactly watertight, but I think it turned out pretty good. The engine, I'm just letting it idle so it'll dry. But yeah, it seems like the more I run it, the smoother it runs too. I've obliterated the rest of this, but that's going to be in the next video. I got some parts. Yeah, I'd say it cleaned up a lot better. You got oil and stuff all over the place like you did. Kind of hard to see in there. Got writing on the valve cover. I don't know what that's about. So this was the blow-by I was talking about. I don't know if it's need to change oil again anyway. But yeah, that's where we're at on this. I'll get you a better picture of the interior. There's all my stuff down there. Like I said, it doesn't really, when I film this time of day I film, it doesn't really do it justice, but it cleaned up a lot. So that'll be it for this video. Next video for sure, we're gonna tackle the brakes. This being my biggest hurdle so far. So I think we can overcome it. So stick around, guys, and that's what we'll do next is brakes on the next video. Thanks for watching.